Good morning and welcome to session 2 of our Flipgrid training. I feel like I say this every time, but I'm really excited about today's session. I have so much fun getting these ready and going, oh, that's good. I can't wait to share that with people. Oh, that's so fun. I would totally do that. So I want to remind you during session 1, we covered some of the fundamentals about creating a grid, which is the environment, and then the topic, which is each individual Flipgrid board. So we talked about creating grids and topics. We talked about adjusting the settings, and then we talked about how you can share a topic with students. If you want a review of any of those things, the Zoom recording and this slide deck is posted at the Mission Control site. You might be wondering, where's the Mission Control site? You can go to hang on, I don't have my, that's what I want. You can go to bit.ly/HESD Mission 20. It'll take you to this site. Okay, there's a blast off section at the top, and then PD for DL is where we're storing all of these resources. I probably will change the layout of that page a little bit next week so that it's a little more clear. But for now, all the recordings are there. I am a tiny bit behind on this week's recordings, but hopefully those will get posted today. Okay, and then while you're at this site, check out the pre-flight information also, because there's a page for each resource that should help. All right, our goals for this session today. Today, we're going to review creating and using topics. I want to make sure that you're familiar with creating a topic, just reviewing those settings so that it has what you want it to have, and then you can add topics as often as you want, as many as you want. We're going to look at some feedback options. I didn't cover this much last meeting in session 1 because I think it's easier if you have some content to work with. So we're going to go through some feedback options, and maybe you've already used a topic and now you can go back and give some feedback to those students. And then we're going to have some fun and look at some mixtape ideas, and then the disco library. You probably have no idea what mixtapes in the disco library are, so I'm excited to be able to share that with you. It'll be fun. All right, so to start out, reviewing the topics. Remember, you made your grid and you have grid settings, like are students going to sign in with their email account? Are they going to use, I said last time, every time it asks for an ID number, I said 300 number. That doesn't have to be a 300 number. If your students have a student number, I always called it a frog number for my students, they would be frog 12, frog 14, and that might be a manageable ID number. So you can do what seems to make the most sense for your students. But let's take a look. As a reminder, when you sign into Flipgrid, you've got your grids at the top. Okay, when you go to your grid, you can choose to see your grid. I'm in my HESD Learning Teachers grid, and all my topics are right here. Okay, they keep going down. I have 4 topics, I have 42 videos. Oh wow, 298 views on those videos. Okay, this is the topic that I sent you yesterday, Finding Joy. Okay, you can click on that topic and it'll open like this. Okay, now I see my whole topic. I see the code that I need to share with people, and I can click here to update the settings. Okay, and then I have the list of the 9 responses here. Now you see that they're hidden when I did this. I think I've since made them active. Okay, so here's what you can see in your topic. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to check out the settings. And this is a long window. I've taken screenshots. You can see I gave it a title. I gave it a description. The recording time I set to pretty short, 30 seconds. I did look, I think, oh man, now I can't remember. It goes up to 10 minutes. So the maximum length we were wondering last time, 10 minutes. Maybe some of you have already figured that out. Okay, remember you had all those focus options. I used the record button and I recorded a quick introduction. This is the way I typically start Flipgrids. I generally record a little introduction. I'm basically saying the same thing as directions, but I don't know if you really realize in a classroom how many times the written instructions are right there, but we say it anyways because we know they need to have it in multiple formats. So I generally give a little, I'm sure, highly inspirational introduction to the topic. Okay, scroll down, you've got a topic tip, topic attachments. I don't use that, but there it is for you. This is an important one. When you get to topic status, here's where you turn it on the moderation so that all videos will be hidden until you see them and moderate them, okay? Here's where you can decide if students are going to be able to reply to each other or not. If you have moderation on, these replies will also be moderated, okay? That's up to you. Here's where you can choose. Are they going to see this status, this topic right now? Are they going to not be able to see it? Are we done with it? So I'm going to freeze it so that they can watch the videos, but they can't add new ones, okay? And then right here, this is actually, I think, super useful. If you're going to have a topic on Monday and you want another one on Wednesday, or you're wanting, I think daily check-in is probably a lot to manage, but you can choose, this is going to be open from this time to this time. Okay, so you can choose when students are allowed to view that topic. You might do these weekly. For this week, your Flipgrids are open on Monday. They're going to freeze Friday at midnight. Okay, and then week 2 will be open so that only that week are the ones that are available. Okay, you scroll down, the video features. This is automatically set to, they can use filters, stickies, draw, and everything on videos and selfies. I generally change it to selfies just so that that's not a distraction for the content of their video, but that's your choice. All right, adding a title is fine. You can decide on view count. I usually turn that off for students. Sticky note is to help them get organized. Can they edit the video? You might at first want this to be off because it can be a little bit confusing that you can have more than one. I know I was recording one and recorded, and then I thought that it was going to the next step, but it actually recorded my weird facial expressions while I was trying to figure out. So you decide what you want to do on the video editing, but you have it right here. Okay. And then feedback. I'm not going to talk a ton about feedback right now, but know that if you want to get into feedback, you have some options here. Okay, and I'll show you a little bit about that in a little bit, but here's where you would set that. And then you're going to create the topic or update the topic depending on if you've already created it or not. All right, so that was a quick run through of the topic and the topic settings. Just to remind you, you'll have this in this video and on these slides if you need to go back and see the settings. There's not anything that you have to set it this way for student safety. Do what works for you, change it for each topic depending on what the topic is, but you've got a lot of control in there. Okay, Helen, are there any questions yet? That was kind of a quick run through.
Mute myself. There are no questions to report.
Okay, Cosgrove checking in. All right, so you've got your topic, your students have posted some videos. Now what's the next step? Here's where we're getting to the good stuff. Okay. You could go to this My Activity tab, all right? When you go to My Activity, it's gonna show you a look like this. I think it starts out on Dashboard, but if you click over on Recent Videos, you see a list of all the videos that have been posted recently. If you have moderation on, it's gonna show you the ones that are hidden. You can toggle here so you only see the ones you wanna moderate, but this is handy. When you're checking in the morning, has anyone posted a video lately? You can go through and see, okay? So this is a nice way to filter the recent videos. I don't think this is the best way to go through each response. And the main reason for that is I open this one and listen to it, and then I have to come back to this view and then open the next one and listen to it. It's not very efficient. So I'm gonna show you a better way, all right? What I like to do, go into your grid, go into your topic, where you see all the responses, click on the first response and it's going to open up. And you're going to see a screen that looks like this, okay? You can click here to watch it, view the whole video. You can click here if you want to record a reply. Now this reply is going to go on the topic. So like where you see the original video, there can be replies that go after it. So this is going to be a public, everyone sees it, like a continuing the conversation kind of reply. Okay, that's within the topic. All right, I'm looking at the feedback over here, and this feedback here is going to be private. It's not going to be posted on the topic. This is feedback to the original poster. All right, down here on the one we did last week where you just posted your greeting, I put text in here and then I emailed it to you. Okay, so this is how you can email feedback. If your students check email, if they're using email, the Gmail app is on iPads. On Chromebooks, it's mail.google.com. If email is a part of your workflow now, this makes perfect sense, okay? The other thing, I'm gonna hold off on that. The other thing you can do up here, you can leave a feedback. I'm gonna show you in a little bit. Students don't automatically see that. You have to tell them where to go to see it. But you can record, it's just the Flipgrid video recorder. You can record your feedback, okay? Which could be related to their content. It could be related to listening and speaking skills of how they're presenting things. It could be, well, it could be anything. You can leave your feedback. When I was showing you in the settings, that feedback section, that's right here, okay? I don't use it, but if you really want to get into rubricing everyone's Flipgrid response, this is the feedback in the options. You can toggle and give them a rubric score. You can edit the rubric. So if that's something you're interested in, explore that and see what you can figure out. Okay, these 3 buttons here, I want you to know that they're here. I'm going to show you later what they are, but they're here in the reply. Okay, so remember, I was in the topic. I clicked on the first person's video and I'm seeing this screen.
Hey, Liz, someone had that question. They asked, how did she get this view?
Okay, so did we see, that's how my animation, I was trying to go back. So in the topic, open up the first video and you see this. Now the reason I like this is right here. I watch the video, I leave some feedback if I want to, I can go right here and it's gonna take me to this exact same screen on the next video. So I can just flip right through, watch it, feedback, watch it, feedback, okay? And it's nice and quick. But there's another tab up here, okay? I was just in feedback, look in the edit, because there are some cool things you can do here. First of all, if your student has changed their name, put something, and you need to update their display name, whatever, you can, okay? So we've got Taylor's name, we've got her information, and then there, I just lost my train of thought. If you need to edit the title, if they did anything that you need to change, you have all that editing here, okay? The thing I wanna show you though, this vibe. Do you see up here where it says leave a vibe? This shows above the video, okay? So this is where you can leave some public praise. It's gonna change the text right here, right now. It says leave the vibe, leave a vibe. If I type in here, fantastic or great idea, it's gonna change this text to say that and that will display with the video. Okay, so that's how you can leave a vibe. All right, edit the information we talked about right here. If these were moderated, right here in the edit, I can click active. Okay, I've watched it. I'm not worrying about feedback. I've watched it, it's active. I've watched it, it's active. Okay, and then I have some actions. The main thing would be delete. If you want to delete it, this is where you could delete it. Okay.
Can you put stickers on their work, Liz?
Nope.
Okay.
No stickers. I guess that vibe is the version of stickers. Love it. Nice job. Those kinds of things. Okay. And then you got your next video. So you toggle to the next video, watch it, click on edit, make it active. All right. So this is your workflow. I don't think I can flip through that again without going through all of the animations. Okay, so that was go to the grid, go to the topic, click on the first response, and then just flip through those screens. All right, and you can leave feedback and you can make them active. Now, if you leave feedback, how are students gonna see it? If students use the Google sign-in, here's how it works. And if they use the, tell you, if they use the ID number, I'm not exactly sure. I didn't have time to test it, so I don't know. So try it out and see. It might be the same way, okay? I'm in a student account here. I went to the topic, I recorded, and I see this screen, okay? And I think it's exactly the same for using the ID number. Look up here, because here's where the user's name is, and when they click, they see my Flipgrid, okay? When they go to my Flipgrid, it looks like this, okay? And then look, here's the response you left. Here's some feedback that you can view. All right, that was not the reply. I wish I had, I don't think I have this. Oh, I do. I'm so smart. I put that in. Okay. So this is where they can view the feedback. Okay. That's the feedback that was left right here. Okay. So that's here. If I leave feedback here and I want students to see it, they have to go to that My Flipgrid to see it. And notice right down here, students can visit my.flipgrid.com to view the feedback, or you can email it to them. If I have a link, I could get them the link. That sounds like a hassle because the best way to get them the link is to email it. And if I'm going to email it, I might as well click email feedback. Okay. But my.flipgrid.com is where they go to see that feedback. If you don't want to deal with the My Flipgrid, don't leave feedback here. Leave something here, but be aware that everyone's going to be able to see it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If you have questions, type them into the chat and we'll get to those in a second. Okay. But that was my.flipgrid.com where they go, or they just go from their name at the top and then they'll be able to see any feedback they have. Okay. Helen, are there questions so far? How are we doing?
Yes. No questions, just a
Okay.
lot of thumbs ups on my shirt.
Oh, good. As there should be. Okay. So that's your whole cycle of using Flipgrid. You create the topic, students respond to the topic, students can reply to each other if that makes sense. You can leave feedback for them if that makes sense. You go in and approve if you're moderating, but that's really the gist of it. Now, if I want to mention, if you're starting with Flipgrid and you're like, oh, I'm not getting very many responses, not very many students are checking in, you have a lot of shy people that this might be a little bit intimidating and they don't want to join in until they see how fun it is. So don't lament the, oh, they're not getting, highlight the ones that are there. Share a video and go, oh my gosh, I loved how this person shared this. You have to kind of build up the fun. And then kids will be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll try it. That seemed good. I did this with a 6th grade class and we had studied vocabulary words. We had done a couple vocabulary activities. And then I said, okay, I want you to go into Flipgrid. I want you to record a video with the partner describing the words in your own words. Don't give me the definition. Just kind of explain like if you were explaining to your mom what the words mean, make a video. And then they could reply to each other and go, oh, you did a great job describing this one. That's exactly. Or, oh, I thought this word was more like this, but I see that it's more like this. And when we did that activity, most of the kids were excited about it. And some of them were like, I'm nervous, I don't want to share. And so, so we told them, show something different. Aim your camera somewhere else and just talk. Just explain and record your talking. Give me something interesting to look at, even if it's not you, but just record some talking because then we can respond to it. Okay. So by kind of emphasizing the fun, highlighting some great responses, kids will eventually be willing to join in, even if they're not at the beginning. Okay. Now, a few extra goodies. So that's the main Flipgrid thing. There are some other fun things we can do. Okay, remember how I said we'll get to this soon? Now's the soon. So you have these 3 buttons on every single response. Okay, the first one, Deidre shared not only some of her beautiful roses and some of the things that are bringing her joy. I noticed she responded 7 minutes after I sent the email. She was the first response, got straight on it. I want to feature her response and make sure everyone sees it. I can click on this star. Okay, what that's going to do, it's going to show at the beginning of the grid. So it's the first one people see. So if you're doing respond to this video or this Newsella article, if you see one like, oh, that kid nailed it, that's exactly the response I want, click on the star and it puts it at the front of the list, which also notifies the rest of the class, ah, that's an exemplar. That's what I'm going for. Okay, I see. Instead of all things being equal, you're kind of highlighting a few that like, oh, that is a super good response. And then try, although I'm sure you have some YouTube stars in your class, just try to make sure that you're emphasizing some different kids every time and giving everyone their spotlight when they do something great. Okay, so that's feature response. And thank you, Deidre, for your your cool video. And then this one, Helen posted about her dog who brings her joy. And actually, Ashley started this out yesterday with her cat. This icon right here is to create a spark video. Okay, what this is going to do, I listened to that response and went, oh my gosh, that could be like a spin-off. We could have a whole different topic of pets. Share your pets with us. So I click Spark Video. This is going to create a new topic. It's going to take me to the create a topic scene where I choose all the settings, but this video is the start of it. Okay, now I want you to consider for a second. Teachers control a lot of stuff. We have a lot of stuff that we're in charge of, especially right now. This is what you need to do. If you start with some spin-off, that just took the focus off of you being in charge, and that just put some students in the driver's seat and empowered them to be the ones leading a discussion, okay? So that's gonna speak to some of your kids. If I give a really good response and say something creative, that might be a spark video. And maybe you have some kind of bonus system or reward or something, special shout out that you can give to build up some students when they have an idea that like, oh, that could be a whole spin-off. You just click this spark video. It's going to take you to the topic settings and you set it up as a new topic. And then that student or that Helen is the leader of that topic as far as seeing the introduction video. Okay. And then the mixtape. Okay, Katya posted a great idea about how she's using the scavenger hunt with her Google Meets. And thank you, you guys, for giving me some great content to use for examples for this. Okay, I love this idea. And we could have a whole greatest hits of all the little ideas that people have shared. It's not necessarily a specific topic, but I'm just going to take all those, hey, that's a great idea, and I'm going to make a mixtape. Now, a mixtape, if you think about in the 80s, those of you that remember, you take your own cassette tape and go, oh, I love that song off the radio, and you record it onto your tape. And then you wait for another song oh, I love that song on the radio, and you record it onto your tape, or you go from tape to put all your favorites in one place, okay? That's the mixtape idea. All right, when you say add response to mixtape, if you already have a mixtape, it's going to show you, do you want to add it to this one or do you want to create a new one? Okay, so it's really easy. Once you have a mixtape set up, click that button, add it to this mixtape, it's done. Okay, in this case, I was creating a new mixtape. All right, I called it Great Classroom Ideas. I gave it a flip code. Notice it has a plus sign. The other things don't have that. Okay, and then I kind of quickly described it. Now you could give it a password. Okay, these are student videos. If you don't have permission to share things from students, then you want to give them a password, but you don't have to if it's stuff you have permission to share. Okay, so you could have a password and then create. That goes in this mixtape tab. Okay, so we've talked about my activity, we've talked about my grids. Now, when you click in mixtapes, all your mixtapes are going to show right here. Okay, now here are some ideas for using mixtapes. Greatest hits from April. If you're using Flipgrid a lot, take some of your favorite responses that students have submitted. It's going to be from all different content. This is what we've done in April. Here's a mixtape. That link, this code, can be sent to families. Want to see what we've been up to in April? Check this out. Okay, think about the parent who hasn't maybe encouraged their kids to engage in school, but they're watching that mixtape of, oh, okay, I get the idea of what's happening. Hey, you should check it out. That looked like fun. Okay, so you've got the mixtape. If you're using all different students and you don't know if you have permission to post their work, give it a password. All right, and then tell parents the password and ask them not to share it outside of their family. All right, if it's public stuff, teachers use this in professional learning. Make a mixtape, share the mixtape on Twitter. Okay, probably not what you want to do, but for adults, it's a great solution. All right, so you've got this mixtape. You can share this link with families when you've got some greatest hits, some highlights, some things you want to, I don't know. Just remember, you're guardians of your students' privacy, so take that seriously. All right, that's mixtapes. I think that's super cool, and that'll be really fun. The other thing, and this is where I'm going to wrap up, is the disco library. The disco library is right here. You guys, holy cow. These are Flipgrids that are already created. These are topics that are ready for you, okay? Whenever you need something, check this out. Look at this screen. These are just the featured playlists. You guys can scroll down that disco library and it's impossible to not find something, okay? I looked at this and went, ooh, I want to know about vocabulary. Ooh, I want to know about breakout. Ooh, I want to know about code. Oh, epic, what's in epic? I found like 12 things just on this screen that I'm super interested in, okay? I chose California State Parks. And when I clicked there, there are 96 topics that California State Parks has already put together, okay? Now you could right here, hang on, this share playlist, this is all of them. That's too much, don't do that, okay? What you wanna do is choose a topic. Now, you can filter, who's your audience, what grade level, what subject are you looking for? Is there a specific, maybe you could type Yosemite in here. Benefits of a forest fire, or a fire in a forest, that's the one I chose. I clicked on the topic and this is what came up. So I can preview, okay? Here's the prompt. There's a YouTube video. It's created by Ports, which we might be familiar with already. If you have more than one grid, it's gonna ask you, which grid do you want to assign this to? Where are you gonna put it? And then you can add it. Okay, so you find a topic you like, you toss it in. Now, that doesn't go live because after that, it's gonna take you to this screen. Now, this should look familiar. This is the screen where you can edit a topic. Okay, so all the information's already here from that topic. If I want to give them more time or less time, I can scroll through all the options that I need. Do I want it to be moderated? Do I want this or that? All the topic settings, and then I click update topic. Okay, if I want it, remember that freeze it or hide it, make it active only during this time. You can pre-do all those kinds of things. Okay, that's the disco library. I think it's ridiculously incredible. You could probably run everything just using the disco library and not ever have to come up with anything on your own. But I want you to consider, let's say you use a state parks and you use a topic about this or whatever, throw some of the best responses into a mixtape, send that mixtape to families to see, here are some of the things we've been doing in distance learning. It's been really fun and I'm really grateful for everyone's hard work this week. Looking forward to next week, okay? Or looking forward to next month. You can really be doing some great PR using Flipgrid. All right, so I'm gonna stop for questions. That was a lot of fun stuff. I think the best way is to just go dig in, explore, get started. I don't know if it drives you crazy to just see screenshots and you want to go explore. Maybe some of you are already doing that while I'm talking, I don't know. But there's so much good stuff out there. Okay, questions, Helen.
Are students' Spark videos hidden until the teacher allows them to be seen?
Well, if you have a video and you choose that Spark, it's going to take you to start a new topic and you can set that yourself. So you can make it hidden. But the video itself, you have to make active also, yes.
Can only teachers make the mixtapes or can students make a mixtape of their videos?
I think it's just teachers.
Okay, Liz, that's all the questions I have.
All right. If someone tries it, if you try it with students, I'm not going to go into a student account right now and test it out, but try it and see. But I think mixtape is just a teacher feature. All right, you guys, I am super excited about this Flipgrid stuff. We really want to look at what's going to be fun, what's going to be engaging. And I think this is such a change from maybe the usual. I mean, people have been using Flipgrid. They didn't just invent it. But think about how this can go with your curriculum that you're already using. If you're doing a language arts story and you need to do this, maybe skip the answer the 7 questions in your workbook and maybe go, you know what, instead of doing that, they know you're not going to see all those. If they submit pictures, nobody's reading. Sorry, I shouldn't say this on a video. It's possible.
Edit it. Edit that out.
That'll be maybe instead of the 7 questions, you do a, hey, go over to the Flipgrid and respond. Maybe you want to start out with giving them a choice. You can answer the questions. You can do the question in a Google Classroom question, or you can go to Flipgrid and record. I'm hoping you choose record because that sounds like the most fun. All right. So here are some of your goals. Use a few topics, explore those feedback options and see what seems to make the most sense and work for you. Make a mixtape. I realize this is a lot of things. Okay. Use the disco library. And then I want you guys to know the way that I learned about this stuff is I clicked on it. And I don't know, what's this do? What happens if I choose a topic? So click on stuff and see what happens. There's a Flipgrid blog. If you go to blog.flipgrid.com, there's all kinds of articles. They've got 3 teachers on their team that do their PD who are amazing teachers. They have so much energy and creativity that there's that. All right. So that's what I have for Flipgrid. I hope you use it and I hope you have a great time with it.
Well, I want to remind everybody, Liz's newsletter comes out every Thursday morning-ish. Make sure you're reading that. So many helpful things. And she really is responsive to the types of questions we're getting over the week. So that's the go-to read on Thursday morning. And then Thursday afternoons is when we'll send out the signups for next week's Zoom collaborations and workshops. Thank you everybody for participating, and good vibes only. And Liz, you're getting so many thanks and that was fantastic.
Oh, good.
Good job, and I agree.
Oh, good. All right, everyone. Thanks. Have a great day. We'll see you later.